how did you go from? How did it work to go from music directing? You did. I mean, I would say in the intro you did 30 shows on Broadway shows like Moulin Rouge, Beetlejuice, Be More Chill, Hamilton. Maybe you've heard of that. King Kong, all these different shows. And then how do you end up as the sound designer on Ain't No Mo?
Yeah, Jonathan Deans. He is the
Mm,
co-sound designer, and he is, I mean, legend. He has designed, physical gear that's used and chips that are used still today in soundboards. But he used to be part of a company called Autograph, a specialty sound shop in the UK, which still exists. And so he was the one out there setting up the Les Mis's, on the
mm.
original tours. He was the one finding who was going to be the audio engineer for that. He's always had a good eye for seeing other talent and always had a generosity for, sharing the stage, as it were. So I first met Jonathan shortly after I moved to New York doing Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. It was a national tour and it was with Jeff Martyr. He was the programmer and music supervisor, and he brought me on as an extra set of hands. And we got to spend a freezing cold winter in Peoria, Illinois, which I highly don't recommend. Uh, um, you know, it's like John Deere tractors and interesting factoids about Liberace, and that's Peoria in my experience. Um, and we had a great time. But he was just one of those guys that like you could be new, you could be old. He's going to sit down and have a conversation with you and be very open minded.
Mm.
And so years later, when he was doing Waitress with Sarah Bareilles, he brought me in. I didn't program that show, but they needed somebody who could, um, can't quite think of the word, but sort of streamline all the programming. Because
Mm,
Jamie
hmm.
Edwards, who did the keyboard programming, he would go out on tour with Amy Mann, and Meg Toohey did the guitar programming. But if she wasn't there, it needed some looking after. So Jonathan said, "You do this. Will you come in and do this?" Um, and we've had the fortune of getting to work together throughout the years, sort of in that capacity. Me as programmer, him as sound designer, and so he knew that I was able to build sounds that served a show, that served a piece, and he knew that he could do everything as far as the technical sound design. Um, so with Ain't No Mo, he brought me in. He called me up to say, "Hey, do you know anybody who might be interested in this?" Knowing that he was asking me, but like I just was like, "Yeah, oh yeah, you must want something else." Like here's three names of people. And he said, "Well, I don't know. How about you do it?" Um, and what was really cool is I never felt that he made me a token. Like I was
Mm.
not just the black person to cover for him. He never asked me to stand behind him, said he could decide the terms of my agreement. He never took my black ideas but discarded my black body. He just pulled up a seat at the table. He put a leaf in the table, made it a little bigger, and said, "And we are equal partners on everything." So if there was something that I did privately, I brought it back to him and we worked on it together. If there was something he had done separately, he gave me, final say over, does this go in the show or not? It was like a Lennon McCartney thing.
Mm.
And so it was a really special thing. And the fact that it's led to this Tony nomination is like, it's his fourth Tony nomination. It's my first, but it's like this unbelievable gift that he's given me. Um, not to mention being able to be involved with this show that is now like, it means so much to me, awards
Sure.
aside. So that's the journey, if that answers your question.